time for my pastor. This is the Clara Luper radio show. And somebody say, who's your pastor? Well, my pastor is Reverend Fred Elkins and all of the other pastors in Oklahoma City. This is the Clara Luper radio show. And today's show is being brought to you by Gates Barbershop, located at 2609 North Martin Luther King Avenue in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. It's that barbershop where you can get your hair really cut to suit your individual needs. Mr. Gates is a specialist in his profession, trained to satisfy the customers, whether that customer is 8 months old or 96. They are going in now at 2609 North Martin Luther King. Mr. Gamble is there along with Mr. Gates. Today's program is going to be a very special program, and it's going to be dedicated to a very special person. Sometimes I have reminded you that we should give flowers to people while they live. We have anything kind to say about anyone, we should say it while they live. And today I would like to dedicate this program to a young lady who understands what beauty is all about. It comes from within. It's all a part of a person. That's what it is. And this program is yours, Freddie Stevens, wherever you are. This is your program dedicated to you. I would like to thank you for the response from last week's program. Many of you had not heard about the fact that the custodians in Oklahoma City had a signal that something might change. You called me, and I ask you to call your board members and your superintendent. It's time now for you to take a stand. We've got to speak for those people who are not able to speak for themselves. We've got to speak for those people who have worked so hard to keep our schools clean. And as you were told last week about the conditions and the problems that they are facing, and I call upon this community to respond. Now, we cannot sit back and let people take away the rights, the fringe benefits that come with the custodians and others. I stated last week that if you're going to contract the custodians, we should contract the cooks, we should contract the aides, we should contract the librarians, we should contract the teachers, the principal, and finally we should get us contract the superintendent. Then no one will have any fringe benefits. And it's deeper than you think. Next week, I'm going to invite the superintendent of schools, and I've always invited the board members to be a part of this program. Keep the people informed so they will know exactly what to do. Let's keep the record straight. Let's keep it straight. Today at 11 o'clock, Oklahoma City will say goodbye to one of its teachers, one of its pioneer teachers, Mrs. Sparks. Yes, today is a day, and that funeral will be held at Ross Funeral Home at 11 o'clock. And I will be telling you about that later on in this show. But last week at exactly 1 o'clock, there was a funeral at the Christian Life Missionary Baptist Church. It was Johnny V. Jacobs' funeral. Many of you will know Johnny because she attended the Payson Public Schools and the Excelsior Grade School near Langston. She graduated from Langston High School in 1950 and was a very good student, and she was a specialist in home economics. Many of you will remember her as a member of the Jesus First Baptist Church in Stroud, Oklahoma, where she worked with young people, teaching them basic skills in life, how to cook, how to sew, and how to enjoy a better quality of life. Many of you will remember her as Johnny Villa McCargo, who married Lorenza C. Jacobs in 1950. And God bless his family because to this union, 9 children were born. And so today, Reverend Lorenzo Jacobs, her devoted husband, her one daughter, Rachel Joanne of Nakoma Park, Oklahoma, 7 sons, Lorenzo of Cushion, Ricky of Oklahoma City, Ronnie of Spencer, Christopher of Lancaster, Barry Thomas of Chickasha, Frank Lamar of Oklahoma City, and a baby son, little Joseph of the home. Many of you will know her through her brothers, A.T. McCargo of Seattle, Washington, Carl W. McCargo of Springfield, Missouri, her sisters, Ernestine Gates of Oklahoma City, Hattie Jean Ray of Wichita, Kansas, Eunice Graham of Jones, and Ruth McCargo of Chandler, Oklahoma, along with Alice Jones of San Antonio, Texas. It was goodbye. And today the family of Johnny V. Jacobs would like to express their thanks to everyone for the kindness shown at this time. The funeral was held at the Christian Life Missionary Baptist Church, and Reverend J.L. Jacobs delivered the eulogy. Yes, this is the Clara Luper radio show, and I have some good news for you. Would you like some chitlins today? Chitlins cooked by a chitlin specialist. Well, all you have to do today is to go to Freedom Center. Mrs. Ellen Alice Strain and her group of Eastern Stars, and they are stars, will be selling chitlin dinners. Now, I want you to go up there and support them because that's a group of beautiful women that support everything. This day, on this Saturday, you will have the opportunity to join your many friends in eating Merlin's Gumbo, and CP's Catfish. They will be selling gumbo and catfish at 730 Northwest Britain Road at Merlin's building. Not only that, you will be able to go into Mrs. Tucker's and see her many styles and designs. We do have some books out there. Those of you that would like to read Behold the Walls by that great writer, Clara Luper, you will be able to pick up a book. Not only that, some of you would like souvenirs. You would like it. But let me tell you something. I'm going to let you in on a secret. Merlin has a new hobby that's out of sight, and that's making bouquets, flowers. I want you to just go out there and see her flowers and tell your friends that Merlin's mother said that those flowers were out of sight. Today we are going to invite you to go to Hometown's IGA, located at 2001 Northeast 23rd Street, and this is the only store that stays open for 24 hours on the northeast side of Oklahoma City. And that whole establishment, from Danny on down, would like to say thanks to all of you. When I think of reading, I've got to think of Dr. A.L. Dial. Dr. A.L. Dial is located at 934 Northeast 8th Street. His telephone number is 2350536. And if you need some glasses, I want you to go to Dr. A.L. Dial. Many times we forget the people that are ill and cannot take care of themselves. Many times they are thrown into homes where people are too busy to even think about them. But today I would like to introduce you to the Passion Home Health Care Incorporated, located at 3838 Northwest 36th Street. I want to repeat that. I would like to introduce you to the Passion Home Health Care, 3838 Northwest 36th Street. The telephone number is 943-5779. Now let me tell you what Passion Home Health Care will do for you. They will come into your home. You don't have to go to a nursing home. They will come into your home and take care of you or your relatives or those who are not physically able to take care of themselves. They will do the job for you. They will send nurses out. They will send doctors out. They will see to it that you have the right diet, and they will check on you. Now, that's the Passion Home Health Care Incorporated, 3838 Northwest 36th Street. The telephone number, once again, is 943-5779. Now, they have a service out there that's unique. It's Give Me a Free Hand. They will take you to the grocery store if you are unable to do it, and many of you are afraid to go out. They will take care of you. Now, what else could you ask? Give me a free hand. Certainly. Now, many of you out there did not know this service was available, but I want you to know that it is available. This morning, I asked Calvin if he was coming out to help with the radio show, and he said, no, I've got to get my catfish ready because my friends will be out there to buy some catfish. And I say, your friends, my friends will be out there because my friends love CP's catfish. Not only my friends, but my enemies will be there to buy that catfish. I would like once again to remind you that you don't have to suffer. You don't have to worry. I want you to go to Passion Home Health Care. Rather, I want you to call them 943-5779. Tell them you heard it on the Clara Luper radio show. I would like to thank you for your compliments, not for me, but I would like to thank you for your compliments for Johnson's Sherdina's Daycare Center, located at 1643 Northeast 50th Street in Oklahoma City. That telephone number is 424-4656. Now, what happens at Johnson Sherdina's Daycare Center? I'll tell you what happens. Your children are taken care of. Your children are exposed to the best because it's really a preschool and nursery. It's really a place where your child can become preschool computer literate. Your child will be able to work with people with experience. There's a program available, and they will pick your child up and then deliver your child back home. What else could you ask for? Now, I'm talking about Johnson Sherdina's preschool and nursery. I'm really talking about Paul and Gloria Matthews, the owner, who have dedicated their lives to the safe care of children. I'm talking about Dina Ray, the secretary. Yes, I'm talking about Mrs. Smallwood and that entire staff. Certified by DHS, will work with you on co-payments. Cash customers are welcome. I want you to call 424-4656. Well, tonight is the night of that black and white ball, sponsored by the Urban League Guild. Yes, I want you to think about it, and I want you to go out because some of our prominent citizens will be honored. And I want you to be at the black and white ball tonight at Tinker's. And that's, where to go with the Officers Club at Tinker. Today I've got to set the record straight because I've had so many calls this week about Miss Black, Oklahoma. I would like to tell you it's only one Miss Black, Oklahoma. Don't let anybody fool you. Miss Black, Oklahoma started in Oklahoma City in 1970, and I'm under contract with Mr. Anderson. Now, anybody can come in here and say, I'm Miss Black. Let me tell you, Miss Black, Oklahoma, you only have one. Now, I wouldn't go somewhere and take somebody's name and say, I am Miss Black, Oklahoma, Kentucky, or any other name. But you do have people that will come in and try to ride in on 25 years of experience. But I want all of you to know there's only one Miss Black, Oklahoma. Karen Wallace is Miss Black, Oklahoma. Now, add anything to it that you want to, but we only have one, and we do have a franchise on that particular name. It's one Miss Black, Oklahoma. And I think you should know that. You should understand. And if anybody come to you and say that they are Miss Black, Oklahoma, if they are Miss Black, Oklahoma, something else, you say, well, Miss Black, Oklahoma, Karen Wallace is Miss Black, Oklahoma. And today, Karen Wallace is in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where she is a guest of the Ebony Expressions AEA Art Gallery and Gift Emporium. Yesterday, Karen arrived in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and the red carpet was out for her. She went to the DoubleTree Hotel and was greeted, and she had the opportunity to sit down with people, designers from all over this country. Let me repeat, there's only one Miss Black Oklahoma in Oklahoma. That nobody fool you. And if anybody come up telling you I'm Miss Black Oklahoma, you tell them that Clara Luper says only one Miss Black Oklahoma. That would be like somebody taking Clara Luper's name, saying this is Clara Luper, USA or something else. Now you can be anything else you want to. You can have any kind of pageants you want to. But I would advise and I would say to you, please, please understand what you are doing, because so many people are misunderstanding. Well, there's only one Miss Black Oklahoma, and Miss Black Oklahoma City will be held on March 4th at the Clarion Hotel. Miss Black UCO, the only one of its kind, will be held at Central UCO will be held on this coming Saturday night. That's February the 4th. Miss Black OU, the only one of its kind, will be held on February the 11th. Miss Black Cameron University will be held on February the 4th. Now, Miss Black Oklahoma will be represented by Miss Black America, where she will be the MC from her alma mater on next Saturday night. And we are so proud of the fact that Karen will be able to go back to her home college and MC the Miss Black UCO pageant. That's this Saturday night at exactly 7:30. I want you to be there early. The tickets are only $5. Now, those of you in the Lawton area, I want you to go to Miss Black Cameron University, the only one of its kind. I want you to be there because Mrs. Dumford has told me that that pageant is going to be out of sight. I want all of the OU fans to go to Miss Black OU on February the 11th. And I will be telling you more about the pageants. The Miss Black Tulsa pageant, under the direction of Mrs. Palmer, will be held in March. And then we have a Miss Black Muskogee pageant. Now, it's all right for you to have your pageants, but don't try to run in and rob us, because things look fishy. My grandmother used to say, it's a dead cat on the line. So many of you have called me, and you've gotten upset with me because I've not given Miss Karen Wallace, Miss Black America, the opportunity to appear on your particular program. Now, why get upset with me and you haven't gotten upset with Miss Oklahoma? Are you afraid to ask? Call Tulsa and ask for Miss Black Oklahoma and see what they will tell you. Now, Miss Karen Wallace signed a contract with Miss Black America, and Miss Black Oklahoma is part of Miss Black America. And that contract, I would like to read it to you so you will know. When she became involved in the pageant, she signed a contract that I'm not under contract to any personal manager or agent, and I understand that I will not to be authorized to hire a personal manager or agent for the duration of my reign. In the event I should win the title Miss Black America, I understand that I will be under contract and will give my power of attorney to Miss Black America. I understand that in the event I win the title Miss Black America, the title belongs to the Miss Black America pageant, and I am only holding the title until the following year. I cannot endorse, make appearances, advertise, or take photographs with or for any products, institutions, organizations, or persons without written permission from the Miss Black America pageant. And in Oklahoma, Clara Luper represents Miss Black America. Now, do you understand? The guidelines are not set by me. They are set by the Miss Black America pageant. Now, I talked to some of the contestants and some of the leaders of the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant, and they told me the same thing. They say the Miss Oklahoma pageant, they told me the same thing. They have a contract in the Miss Oklahoma pageant, which is part of Miss America, that their winners cannot cannot endorse or appear without the consent of the Miss America pageant, which is in Oklahoma. It's Miss Oklahoma. Now, did I get you straight? Do you understand? We want her to appear, but we have to go by the guidelines. I don't care who you are and what song you're singing. This is a Clara Luper radio show, and certainly this show is being brought to you by Allstate's favorite agent, Marilyn Hildred. Marilyn has been your agent for a long time, and she's very grateful to you because you have made her number one, and you're going to tell your friends about her, and she will be number one in 1995. Marilyn Hildred, your Allstate insurance agent. Marilyn wants to take care of your insurance needs, and she wants to make sure that you have the best. That's Marilyn Hildred. You may call her today at 843-0811. It's really good to have a friend in the insurance business and be a friend. Now, there are a lot of outstanding agents, and another one of my favorite ones is Harold Ford. Yes, yes, yes. This is the Clara Luper radio show. Let's talk about Miss Black, Oklahoma. Miss Black, Oklahoma will be June the 18th through the 24th. The young ladies will arrive in Oklahoma City on June the 18th. The young ladies will worship at the Tabitha Baptist Church in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And Tabitha, get ready for them because at my last count I had 120, but I expect more. So we will be there at your church for the 11 o'clock services. Then we will have an exciting week, and the pageant will be held at the Myriad Convention Center, and it will be televised by Cox Cable, but we want you to be there. Now, another exciting thing about it, you will be there. And I have so many things that I would really like to share with you. We are very proud of the fact that we have been able to give scholarships. We have been able to awaken the conscience of our universities, and they have been able to give to us what they have been giving to other people for years. It took me over 15 years to get scholarships from some of these colleges. And this week I received a lovely letter from Oklahoma State University who had just given to one of my beautiful contestants, Clarissa Franklin, $1,000 scholarship. And I would like to share this, just a bit of information to you. The Oklahoma State University, from the Office of University Scholarships, states that they are very happy to give to Miss Franklin a scholarship. And I know wherever Miss Franklin is, she is smiling, and we are expecting you to know for sure that you can qualify for a scholarship by becoming a part of the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant. I think from last year we have 12 beautiful, talented young ladies that are going to school as a result of the pageant. Now, so many people think that you've got to win. You don't have to be number one to get a scholarship. But there are some other things that these universities are looking for. And in the Miss Black Oklahoma, we are looking to help somebody. We want to help our young people, and to help them, you're going to do what Miss Stevens has done. She gives a scholarship every year. You're going to have to do what we have a large number of people that give scholarships to our Miss Black Oklahoma winners. And I know you want to be a part of it. Why don't you give a scholarship? Why don't you say to Miss Black Oklahoma that I want to be a part of it? For 25 years, you're in your 26th year, and I want to be a part of it. I have seen what has happened to our young ladies, and I want to be a part of it. I want to be a part of those people that are working with our young people. Not no Johnny comes lately, but somebody that has been working and have devoted their life and their time to helping young people. The theme this year at the state pageant will be American Roses for the 21st Century. How much do you know about roses? Letty wrote, There are roses out on the meadows. They are plentiful, as you can see. And that's why we have selected them for our 26th year. There are roses, Lady Ruth Hunter wrote, in Oklahoma. They are beautiful, as you can see. That's why we selected roses for the 21st century. There are roses whose stories have not been told. There are roses whose petals are unfolding. These are American roses for the 21st century. Clara Luper wrote, "'Tis the mystery of a rose, only God knows. But we know that we are roses for the 21st century." What an opportunity. And I want you to help us with roses. You will see roses of all colors, and you will be there to enjoy the roses. Now, I want to make our position crystal clear. We are on our way. But it took us 25 years to get a Miss Black America. You say, Clara, wasn't you tired of trying? No, I'm not tired of trying. In fact, even though we didn't win Miss Black America the first 24 years, I was there congratulating those that win. Because I know the only reason that they beat me is because they beat me. I can't go around saying I was cheated. They beat me fair and square. But we have been there. We've given scholarships. We've seen our young people that have participated in our pageants. We've seen them go to Europe. We saw them go to Vietnam. We saw them in Hawaii. We have seen our young people traveling, and I do hope that this year will be a better year. And it can be if you understand, if you clearly understand that there's one Miss Black Oklahoma. Now, I want you to understand that clear, and I want to make it crystal clear. Miss Black Oklahoma. Now, we have 3 rules in Miss Black Oklahoma and in our page program, and they are so simple. Discipline, discipline, discipline. Those are our 3 rules. Now remember, the Miss Black Oklahoma City pageant will be March 4th, and today I had a friend that wanted to give away a ticket to the Miss Black Oklahoma City pageant. And I will ask you a question, and the first one that answers that question will be able to get that ticket. The tickets are only $10, and you're going to see a show that you will really be proud of. You will know our young people when they come to Tabitha Baptist Church in June. They will be wearing green dresses along with the staff and what have you. They will be wearing green dresses and white shoes, and they will have a white rose. But on Monday they will be wearing white pants and green blouses with yellow roses. On Tuesday they will be wearing green pants and white blouses. Oh, what a day. Well, I'll tell you more about that, and I'm going to be talking about it because I think it's something that we really need to talk about. Now, you have ideas out there in Radio Land, and what we have done after each pageant, we sit down and we say, okay, what went wrong? What can we do to improve? And we would like to thank the Oklahoma City Chamber of Commerce, Otwell, Southwest Bell, OG&E, Lawrence Jackson, Mrs. Stale, Mr. and Mrs. Hunter. We would like to thank Mr. Roth, and we could go on, and we would be naming many of these people. We would like to thank Julia Anderson, and we will be talking about them. And we have something to talk about, because when you can talk about people that have stayed with you for 25 years, going into your 26th year, you are really on the ball. And I'm too humble to brag, but I want you to know that Miss Black Oklahoma is Karen Wallace, and today she is in Tulsa, Oklahoma. She is in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and she will be modeling some clothes by one of the top black designers in the United States of America. Yes, she's been riding around in a limousine in Tulsa, Oklahoma. You may call me. I want to ask you a question, though, because I want to make sure you're listening to the Clara Luper radio show. And if you aren't listening, you will be when I get through telling you about those beautiful pages that we have in 1995. Now, today, many of you will call me and say, Miss Luper, I want my child to be a page. And I'm going to say one thing: too late for 95, because the pages have been selected for 1995. And I'll call their names. And if you want any of them to drop out and let your child drop in, it's all right with me. See if you can convince them that they should drop out. Announcing the 1999 pages: Sharita Sutton, Jasmine Ballard, Sharonda, Veronica, and the Baby Boy. Gloria Brown, Megan Black from Tulsa, Oklahoma, Christina Carbon, Cremishula Cross, Darshell Davis, Latalia Dokes, Alicia Ellison, Paisley Ford, Krista Gaston, Alicia Hildry, Kia Hornbeek, C.C. McDonald, the lovely Miss Shanae Roberts, Kamisha Roberts from Tulsa, Brittany Red, Brandy Red, Andrea Scott, yes, Coco Thomas, Chanel Whitaker, Kanisha Watson from Houston, Texas, Stina Moore, Dominic Motley, Javon Smith, Kataria Fields, Candace Newton. Yes, we are talking about Phoenica Scales, Essen Horn, Carlos Newton. We are talking about the Jacksons, Shanika Jackson, Antoinette Jackson. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I've called the names of all of the pages except those that will be coming in from Ardmore and Muskogee. I told you about it. And if you didn't call, it's too late now. So remember, we put you on the list for 1996, and I tell you what you can do. Call any of these pages and ask them to drop out so you can get in. And you're going to have to learn how to really be on time. Did you know the nurses had a sorority? Did you know that? The Chi Eta Phi Sorority Incorporated will be hosting something that's really great. It will be a workshop, a series of workshops on preventing violence. They will be here next week to talk about it, and I know you will be very pleased. You may call me today and blow your top and talk about what you would like to talk about, because today I'm trying to set the record straight so nobody will have to call me and say, oh, Miss Luper, I told you that what we were doing. Now, we will be closing the door on the Miss Black Oklahoma City pageant after next Tuesday. We have contacted every school in Oklahoma City. Now, I want to make that clear in the Oklahoma City area. And I have talked to counselors that have thrown our announcements in the wastebasket. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's right to deny students from some high schools not to have the opportunity to participate. Now, I want you, if you're in high school, or if you're a parent or uncle or grandmother, and you know you have a child with as much talent as anybody else, I want you to get on these schools and tell them that we want our young people represented. Oh, when something happens bad, we can make headlines, but I'm talking about something that's very, very good. Don't forget those good old chitlins today up to Freedom Center, 2609 North Martin Luther King. Don't forget that catfish out on Britain Road. Don't forget that gumbo. Well, Clara, how do you like gumbo? I'm not going to tell you about gumbo but I'm going to tell you that the people really love Maryland and a gumbo. And I want you to see Maryland's flowers. Today's program is dedicated to a young lady who understands what life is all about, Mrs. Freddie Stevens. Mrs. Freddie Stevens has spent her life helping people, working, encouraging people. Oh, not making the headlines, but doing exactly what a rose does. You see that rose stem and you look at it, so green, so beautiful. And then you finally see a flower that blossoms. Mrs. Freddie Stevens is our flower. Oh, yes, she gives a $500 scholarship to Miss Black Oklahoma and not going to give it to anybody else. If you don't believe it, you go try it. Call Miss Stevens and tell her that you represent something else. She's going to say, I'm on that Miss Black Oklahoma team. And once you get on that team, it's difficult to get off. Because so far in our years, we've only had 4 people that have jumped off of that Miss Black Oklahoma team. Sure, they get angry with Clara Luper, and Clara Luper gets angry with them. But anyway, they always come back home. They come back home to Miss Black Oklahoma. Well, next week I will be telling you the names of the 1995 contestants, and I have some beautiful contestants. Don't let anybody fool you. Contestants from Putnam City. I have contestants from Sapulpa, Oklahoma, from Jones, Oklahoma, Spencer, Oklahoma. And this year we will have representatives from Ardmore, Bowley, Bristow, Britain, Cameron University, Carter County, Clinton, Oklahoma, according to Mr. Redwine. And when Mr. Redwine tells you something, watch out, from Dale City, Guthrie, Job Corps, Jones, Langston University, Midwest City, Muskogee County, Northeastern A&M, and for the first time we will have representatives from Connors College, from Northwestern, from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma County, Oklahoma State University, Oklahoma University, Quail Creek, Rose State, Spencer, Tulsa County, UCO, Village, Moore, Westmore, Putnam City. We will have them. And if I didn't call your city or your school, you get on the ball and call us, because we're going to see to it that you are exposed to the best. Somebody called me and said, Miss Luper, you just have pretty girls in your page, and you're right. And if you're pretty, you call me and you can get in. Now, sure, they are pretty. Pretty is as pretty does. This is the Clara Luper radio show. I'm waiting on Calvin Luper to call, because Calvin knows he wants to call, and incidentally, he has become an expert. CP has taught Calvin how to fry fish like a champion, and I want you to know it. I would like to thank all of you for inviting me to be a part of your program during Black History Month. And we're going to be running a special moments in Black history. We'll be giving away a lot of prizes during Black History Month, and we certainly want you to be a part of it. Have you ever in your life seen so many beautiful young ladies? I wish you could have been at Freedom Center at our first orientation of the Miss Black Pages. The Pages will meet Thursday evening at 5 o'clock. At 5 o'clock, the Pages will meet. The parents will be bringing the Pages up there, and people have been very critical of me because I don't fool with a lot of parents. The parents can come up, but they cannot come in and watch our rehearsals. And the reason for that, don't ask me, ask the parents. Yes, and if you heard that, you are exactly right. Because Mrs. Luper will be the mother to all of the Pages, to all of the contestants for the next months, and they will not forget me. I'm expecting a young teacher to call me who just returned from South America, and I sure want her to call me. I also expect Miss Wilson to call me because her son was killed on a railroad track, and I certainly want to hear from her today, and I want her to tell you the story. Well, we're having a big wedding this evening in our family. Ronald Douglas, my nephew, will be getting married this evening at 6 o'clock at the Loving St. John's Baptist Church. Reverend Parker will perform that ceremony. Yes, Ron finally getting married. He didn't tell me to tell you who he was marrying. I'm sure not going to tell you, but I can tell you one thing: there would be a big wedding, and some of his family arrived in Oklahoma City from Houston to attend the wedding. Now that's something, and C.P. Wilson's very proud of his nephew, and certainly we would like to wish the best for Ron. The Clara Luper radio show. And I'm certainly hoping that Calvin Luper will call me. I want Letty Ruth Hunter to call me. And I told you last week that Blanche Norman would like to thank all of you. She's in the hospital tonight, Presbyterian Hospital, but she's doing real well. And I know that that will be good news for you because if you were in the hospital, Blanche would certainly want to know. This is the Clara Luper radio show. And you may call me and give your opinions. And certainly, I know you have some good opinions. Someone has called me and asked me if I think O.J. Simpson is guilty. No, I do not think O.J. Simpson is guilty. I do not think it, and I have not had any evidence because to me, if that glove had been bloody and it was dropped outdoors, it should have had a lot of dirt on it or some leaves or something. I don't believe he's guilty unless he killed one and the other one stepped up and say, "I'm standing here, O.J. Now stab me to death." I don't believe it, and I will not believe it until I get the facts. Just because somebody say, and you notice, all of the women that's talking about how bad he is are all white women. If you notice, his wife last night on 2020 said that she lived with O.J. Simpson, had 3 kids, and that he didn't beat her. Well, I don't know. O.J. said that he had been framed, and I don't know. And many of you, I know you can identify with it because there are many of you that have been framed, and we have a lot of people in the penitentiary today who does not belong there because somebody has framed them. Well, anyway, OJ, I want you to know, and those of you that have read Behold the Walls, you see OJ presenting me an award in my book, and I had the opportunity to meet and to know O.J. Simpson. He was a supporter of the NACP, and certainly as you read Clara Luper's book, Behold the Walls, you will have an opportunity to see him. So some of you are calling and want to know the names of the members of my staff for 1995, and my staff is ready, and I do have some outstanding people on my staff. I have the best staff that anyone could mention. And I would like for some of my staff members to call me. And all I want you to say is, Clara Luper, I'm on your staff, and my name. And if you don't have an opportunity to get in,
was to come by and to see. You know, it'd be fun to deliver, and I know that they'd appreciate it. But then if you come out here and you see some of these beautiful objects, and they're all soulfully made, you know, they're all just beautiful. And I think that those people who are interested in helping black businesses and interested in seeing what black businesses can do will take the time to come by this day and see it because Mrs.
how
Tucker's
long
done
will
a
you be selling?
fantastic
You will
job.
start selling your catfish and gumbo at what time?
Catfish is on sale right now. I think I have one dinner. I got one person waiting on me to get off the phone to finish to finish off the phone to go ahead and fix them a dinner. And then I know that we will be here at least at 7 o'clock this evening.
All right, Calvin, I really thank you.
Do you know where I'm at, Mom?
Huh?
Do you know where I'm at?
I think you are at 730 Britain Northwest to Britain Road.
Don't be thinking now. You got to be positive now.
Okay, I'm
Where am
positive.
I? Where am I?
I'm positive.
Where's the good catfish?
Good catfish, 730 Northwest to Britain Road.
Where's the great gumbo?
730 Northwest Britain Road. And you
where's
got
some
red,
of the
white,
most beautiful
and blue.
clothes you'll ever see in your life?
Okay, well, anyway.
Wait, no, I'm asking you. Where are they?
730 West to Northwest Britain
And some of the
Road.
most beautiful household items that you can get at a reasonable price, where are they?
Same place. And Mrs. Tucker's ready with some hats.
Mrs. Tucker is ready. Mrs. Tucker's ready. That's not the problem. Mrs. Tucker's ready. Merle Hills is ready. Calvin's ready. Miss Russell's ready. Everybody is ready. We're just waiting on more people. Only thing that's not ready, I had some banners that have fallen down, but then they'll be up by the time the people get here. But then we are at 730 West Britain Road. We are ready. We have the best in gumbo. We have the very best in great catfish. We got some designs and some fashions and some clothes out here that just make your mouth water. But then you can always eat and then come over here and look, or you can look and come over there and eat. No matter what, you're going to enjoy this day, the Saturday before the 29th Super Bowl, and that's why we're here. That's the reason for us being here this time, because we want to share with Oklahoma City our expertise and the knowledge and our good cooking and our
Is it true,
designing
Calvin, that you have
abilities.
some cookies out there?
Well, I have just a few cookies left.
Will you
I
save me
had
a
a good
package of
day
cookies?
yesterday, and then I saw one of my partners. I was coming down out here this morning. He told me, Calvin, I heard that you got Calvin's cookies out there, and he took a
Calvin's
dozen of them.
cookies,
Calvin's
CP's.
cookies. They are delicious. I'm not
Okay,
gonna
save me a package.
a package, Mom. Okay, that you better
Okay.
hurry. Because
Okay.
here at 730 West Britain Road, we don't have much time to be holding on to nothing.
Okay then.
Because we're here for the people, and we want you to know. And we're looking forward to you coming out here.
Okay, we'll see you after that big contest at Kappa Alpha Size. Ebony Bowl will be held today.
That
And
sounds like a Fifth Street winning, doesn't it? Fifth Street Baptist Church is in the contest, right?
yes, and also Tabernacle Baptist Church. It will be held today at 1:30. And this is sponsored by the Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity, who has dedicated their lives and part of their policies to see that we have the best.
Well, I'm always proud of my Kappa brothers and the friends
Are you a
that.
Kappa?
Of course not, Mom, but I'm proud of the people that have
What are
made
you
that
if you aren't a
decision
Kappa?
to go Kappa. But then I am a die in the heart, purple and gold man. You know, I'm Omega to the day I die. But I'm glad to see the Kappas doing something. But then I'm glad to see the churches working with the Kappas. That's what it's going to take to make our community and our nation and our city a much better place, is all of us working together. Us Omegas, we got our own way of doing things to help the city. The Kappas, I'm
Okay,
proud of them.
Calvin, I'm
Fifth
gonna have to
Street,
say
I'm proud of.
goodbye.
But I'm at 730 West Britain
Okay, bye
Road.
bye. We
We
know
got
where you
gumbo. We
are.
got
We
catfish,
know
Mama. We
where
got
you are.
dynamic stuff out here. Okay.
Okay, bye
Bye.
bye. Hello? Hello?
Yes, hello.
Yes?
I am Freddie Mae Stevens. I am on your staff. And thank you for honoring me on this day. Although I am in my 80s, and I know that anybody where they can get on your staff if they are willing is to work and work and work. It's with you and the young people. And thank you for honoring me.
Well, you deserve to be honored. I wish I could do more for you because I've always tried to be like you, but you're too tough for me.
I think I, I think that you got that turned around.
Honey, you're tough, you're beautiful, you're the same thing all the time. And I saw you go through your surgery and the doctor told you you had to have uh, something else and you say, shoot, I'm gonna walk. And you're walking, honey.
I am walking on my metal knee.
You have a metal knee and you're walking. You aren't complaining.
No, no, no. And don't forget that I am in my 80s.
You're in your 80s?
I taught here in Oklahoma City and 45 years.
Well, you're just beautiful. Well, thank you, and I hope you didn't
And getting
mind.
ready is to go overseas now.
Okay.
And the Juanita McDaniel and Freddie Mae Stevens are getting ready is to go overseas.
Well, I sure wish my name had been on that list. Goodbye, and thank you so very kindly.
And thank you.
Okay, some of you wanted to know about some of the people that are giving gifts and things for Miss Black Oklahoma, Best Travel. And incidentally, Javon Smith and her mother and Mrs. Ford will be going to New Orleans, Louisiana. They're just selecting their date. Johnny Cash is giving cash donation. Mrs. Freddie Stevens, Mr. and Mrs. William Hunter, Mrs. Daly, Miss Nala Jewel Phillips, Mr. Carl Carbon, Marilyn Hildred, to Mrs. Era Holmes, and this is being donated by her son Carl, Mr. Thaddeus Johnson, Representative J.C. Watts, the lovely, talented member of my staff, Maxine Stale, Danny Terrell, Mr. Lawrence Jackson, Mrs. Gloria Griffin is giving an academic scholarship, Miss Betty Noakes, and Mrs. Letty Ruth Hunter is the head of the state judging team. The lovely, talented Mrs. Gloria Matthews is in charge of our hospitality and doing a terrific job. Cheryl Fowler and Leola Ford are in charge of our pages. We have coming from Washington, D.C., the lovely Eva Knight, who is in charge of training our young ladies. And we will be telling you more about our staff. And we do have, I think, 2 vacancies on our staff. And if you are interested, you may call me at 424-3949. Sometimes I drive down 23rd Street and I'm so proud because I can see Circle J Mini Market and Ice Cream Stand. 1600 North Martin Luther King, where you can get bluebell ice cream, where you can get banana splits, where you can get barbecue, where you can get hot and cold sandwiches, where you can get gasoline, and where you can get service, thanks to Mr. Todd. That's Circle J, Mini Mark, and ice cream. Mini Mark, where you can go in there and get popped at 1600 Martin Luther King. And certainly, we would like to salute all of you, and we would like to thank you for listening to the Clara Luper radio show, because when you listen to this show, you know you're going to hear something that you will just love. Because Oklahoma City loves Clara Luper. Oklahoma City loves Clara Luper. Don't let anybody fool you. Oklahoma City loves Clara Luper. We are now selling tickets for the Miss Black Oklahoma City pageant, which will be in the Star Theater at the Clarion Hotel. And those of you that are interested, get your tickets now, because they are so limited, and we want you to be a part of it. Those of you that plan to see the state Miss Black Oklahoma pageant, you better get your tickets or put in for reservations now, because tomorrow might be too late. I want to give away a ticket today. This is just a $10 ticket. Could you call me and tell me the rules for the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant? The 3 rules for the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a very important day because you can get chitlins at Freedom Center. Now, those of you that like chitlins, you go up. And I know I want those chitlins to be ready, because I want some chitlins, I want some catfish, and you're going to eat my gumbo. But I want you to call me. Yes? I have 30 seconds left according to this clock. According to the clock, I have 30 seconds left. And in 30 seconds, I can tell you how much I appreciate you, how much I love you. And if you don't like what I had to say today, you come out here and say something yourself. Don't forget to support your churches. And some of you are fooling me. You're telling me you are at churches. You're going to church, and you're going to churches and get you some chicken and go home. Well, I'm for San Diego. Go, go, go. We're going to win tomorrow. San Diego. And Ellis, wherever you are, San Diego is going to win it tomorrow. Clara Luper saying, goodbye, darling, and I do love you. Bye-bye.
This is AM 1220, KTLV, Midwest City, Oklahoma City.
Very special guest. She's a native Oklahoman. And a matter of fact, without too great to describe, her is Sheila Clark. Good afternoon, Sheila. How are you?
Hi, good afternoon, Jen Jones. I'm very excited about being on the show.
Fantastic. Now, Sheila, for those who still don't know who you are, could you elaborate about who is Sheila Clark?
Yes, I'm Sheila Asbury Clark, a former member of the Gospel Soul Revivers, and I released a hit single, Testimony, a few years ago about my personal testimony, finding my husband at home in bed with another woman, and how God brought me through that experience. And it's something that God had laid on my heart to tell men and women that, you don't have to kill anybody or put, gas in anybody's car tank or break out windows, that you can turn it over to God and He'll deliver you through any situation. So basically, now I'm with the play, Reverend, I'm Available, and I'm excited about touring with that.
Now, Reverend, I'm Available, it can touch many aspects, almost similar to, some other interesting that's kind of almost unique is like Reverend I Am Low with the Lowdown Glow Traveling Show. But but speaking about Reverend I'm Available, tell us about that.
Yes, it's a gospel musical comedy, and it's about a widowed minister who's searching for a new wife. He lets the congregation know, I don't think he really needed to, because it's women always in the church that's already after the reverend, regardless if he's single or if he's married. It doesn't really matter. And that's basically why it's a comedy, because you actually get to see the women actually putting the heat on the reverend, and they really want to be the next Mrs. Reverend.
And a lot of people might relate to that as a dirty, unloaded shame.
Yes.
But also, like you spoke about some of the women that are in churches, and of course, like yesterday and probably even next Sunday, a lot of people will be, I would say some of them women, which is like Sister Hip, Sister Lip, and Sister Onion. But elaborate a little bit about the play. How did the Reverend become a widower?
His wife has passed away Really, it's in a car accident, and she has passed away. And he's still young, and he still have needs, And he has prayed to the Lord, to send him somebody else, somebody like his wife or more. And so that's what he's looking for.
So he was basically a young reverend and was still needing it.
Yes.
But I guess he was like, I'm quite sure a lot of women was right there and heard that say testimony, amen. But now there's also the music is fantastic. Elaborate about the soundtracks.
Oh yes, the music is phenomenal. Everywhere we go, we've traveled all across the nation, and people is always asking for the soundtrack. We have traditional, contemporary, and all types of music. It's spiritual, and it'll just uplift your soul. I mean, people come in, you may come in feeling down, but when you leave, you'll feel overjoyed and lifted up and touched by the Spirit of God. So it's just great to be in the music part of this comedy musical also, and people are just touched and overjoyed, and we plan to release the soundtrack in the near future.
And hopefully maybe some of those cuts from that soundtrack will be heard here on the only station in the nation that everybody's listening to, the John W. Jones Show.
Oh, yes, it will, John.
Now, you also have done something else fantastic. Now, you spoke about, the testimonial album that you had out, and it was a success.
Yes.
And also, Reverend, I'm available to play as long with some soundtracks. Now, it didn't quite go over well with some of the members of churches as well as the other secular world. Is controversial good? And first of all, how was the controversial?
Yes, controversy can be good and bad. In one instance, a lot of Christians that turned away from it, people of the secular, started listening to it, and I was able to reach those type of people also, because it is a message from God, and some people might want to turn a deaf ear to it that shouldn't, but then the people that needs to hear the message can still be reached, even though they may not be a Christian. They might turn Christian behind listening to the music. So I mean, it's a message in it for everybody, and it's just whoever opens up and let him in, as he say, let him in, let him come in and dine with you and sup with you, then you can receive the message that is being put out.
As you had sung, God will be there.
God will be there.
And also the Messiah, some people call him Jesus, some call him Yahshua. He didn't come for those that were saved. He came for the sick, lost, and the sinners.
That's so true, John.
And then you have those who are holier than thou would claim that that's wrong.
Yes, that's true. That's exactly what I experienced. And it was hard for me to understand that because I've always been a Christian. I've always tried to live right. I've always tried to do the right thing. And I couldn't understand this was my testimony, what God brought me through. And then sing and tell about it, and then the so-called Christians turn a deaf ear to it. This is what God gave me. I don't know what he gave you, but I can sing about what he gave me, and that's how I felt.
Well, that's also like the song Hallelujah.
Oh, yes.
But, also some of the main people who were opposing to the title, testimonial, and the many beautiful cuts on it, as well as display with some of the blind lead the blind, or the dumb dogs, and a lot of people who might have their Bible reading it, you might check out what those dumb dogs are in Isaiah 56:9-12. But they were the main aspects, so I guess you could say the blind leading the blind. Now, you went across the country, and it was turned out to be a fantastic success.
Yes.
And you're coming back to Oklahoma. Elaborate about that date and time.
Oh, yes, that's on December the 9th. We'll be back by popular demand, John. December the 9th at 8 o'clock. That's on a Friday night. And we ask that you get your tickets in advance. December the 4th is the last day to get them in advance if you have coupons or anything on that. But you can also pick up your tickets at Tulsa Performing Arts Center box office, Cooper's Fruit Stand, J&J Beauty Supply, and the Fresh Fish Market. And we look forward to seeing Tulsa turn out and support this and all the surrounding areas, because everyone has been asking us, when are you going to bring the play back to Tulsa? Reverend, I'm available. Well, it's coming back December the 9th.
And as December the 9th of Friday, we'll be in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yes.
I do want to remind the listening audience once again, I'm John Jones, and you are not. I'm here with the Honorable Sheila Asbury Clark. And again, Sheila, now you're going to be performing, and tell us a bit about your role.
Oh, yes. In this play, I'm playing the traveling evangelist that comes in to help the preacher get back on track, to help him realize that, hey, let's not forget about God here. Let's not forget about what his calling for you was to do. You can't just go off the track and leave it. You got to come back now. God needs real workers out here. He needs people in his vineyards to do the work. And that's what my part in the play is to come and let the preacher know, hey, let's get back on track.
So basically your role would be to remind him not to be tangible, but to be intangible and corporeal.
That's right. That's true.
And get his mind on that upper cake instead of that lower.
That is so true, John.
And if
it's so true.
And also, if he seek the kingdom of heaven and his righteousness, then all those things will be added to him.
That's right. That's right.
Then once again now, God will be there. Will that be performed?
No, that particular song will not be performed, but we do have other songs in the play that just is great and just as touching.
Now, you have some other fantastic singers who will be performing as artists. Elaborate about those.
Yes, we do. We have Hester Dean. She's a great gospel singer. Janice Robinson. She does the house. Lord, take my hand. And we also have Clayton Asbury playing the part of Black Jesus that comes in and gives a special appearance for the minister to bring him to his knees, because you've got to get right, and we have it's great gospel singing. All of these are national artists. Serenity, which is Deronda Lewis and Marva Walker. They have traveled all across the nation also, so it's going to be power-packed, and you just don't want to miss this great production.
And you spoke of Marva Lewis and the group Serenity.
Yes, Deronda Lewis.
Yes, and Deronda Lewis as well as Marva Walker.
Right.
And a lot of people who's all too diligently, faithfully, and digitally listen to the John W. Jones show got a chance to hear Courtney Walker, the daughter of Marva Walker.
That is true. That is true. And Courtney will be performing with us on that night in the choir.
And, of course, Courtney is the 1993-1994 Miss Black Teen Tulsa.
Oh, Teen Tulsa. That's correct.
And so it seemed like that I might as well get my tickets right now as well, because it seems like the tickets are going fast. And once again, if they couldn't make it to Tulsa, but they like to call, what is the number they can get additional information from?
The additional information, you can call 425-0110.
What area code is that?
Area code 918-425-0110.
And for those who might be listening to this in Oklahoma City area or in Dallas, and they like to bring the play even to their city or surrounding area, how can they go about it? Who to contact?
Okay, you can contact Mr. Rodney Clark, and the phone number is the same, area code 918-425-0110.
And again, Sheila Asbury Clark, I want to thank you for being on the only station in the nation that everyone should be listening to now. And if they're not, they probably somewhere listening to some Give It To Me Baby station. And I do want to remind the listening audience, you'll listen to the John W. Jones radio program. I'm John Jones. And once again, Sheila, sum it up about Reverend I'm Available.
Oh, yes, Reverend, I'm Available. A play you won't want to miss. It has people laughing out loud. It'll make you cry. It'll make you think. And it'll even make you laugh. So you don't want to miss this great production. So come on out to the Tulsa Performing Arts Center on December the 9th at 8 o'clock. Thank you.
And welcome back to the only station in the nation that you are currently listening to, the Intrinsic Show with John W. Jones. Now, I'm John Jones. I'm now here with Smiley Elmore of Smiley Elmore and Associates. Good afternoon, Smiley. And for those who don't know who you are, elaborate about who is Smiley Elmore and Smiley Elmore and Associates.
Smiley Elmore is a young man who owns a Smiley Elmore and Associates, which is an insurance and investment company. I've been around since January of 1970. When I went into the insurance business, I opened my own company in August of 1974, and We do employee benefits, life insurance, and investments.
Yes, because I know a lot of people are going to invest a lot of time tonight by watching the NFL football game on television on ABC network. And speaking of football games, I remember my playing days as well as my playing nights. Oh, yes, indeed. I used to play split end. I split the bench. And of course, yes, and of course I also played quarterback. Yes, I was just a quarterback from the rest of the team. But anyway, actually, I do believe I was a tailback because every time the football team make a first down or a touchdown, I get all excited because the crowd, they get all up excited. They get to turn it up and down, jumping all around, and I'll put on my helmet and run out onto the field. I mean, be getting it too. And the coach will holler, "Jones, you get your tailback here." But actually, Smiley, moving right along, there is a lot of football players who make a tremendous salary. And they have to invest it somewhere, whether it be the players or the coaches. Now, tell us a little bit more about how those professional football players or basketball players or hockey, how do they basically invest their money?
Well, a lot of them do several different things. Some of them invest in real estate partnerships. Some of them put their money into equities, such as mutual funds and individual stocks. And some put them in annuities, and just various different. Some of them blow it, but most of them, I'm told that is pretty prudent in their investment philosophy.
Yes, and as you know, Smiley, even for those who just, probably such as myself, make sub wages, don't even probably make those wages. A lot of people say, "Oh, I am poor." Actually, I can't even afford that P. But for the listening audience or for somebody who's barely making minimum wage, how important or how can they really invest their money as well?
Well, John, the thing about people who make money is oftentimes people think individuals who earn large amounts of money is the one in a position to save money. But people who don't make a large amount of money, it's more important to them to save than the person who has a lot of money, for obvious reason. And saving money is an attitude. Saving money ain't how much you make, is how much you're going to get. Saving money has to do with your attitude and your tenaciousness or your been disciplined enough to save money. That's what saving money is all about.
And so those who have a good attitude right now and disciplined enough to maybe inquire about this, how can they contact you in the morning?
They can call me at my office, which is at 52nd and South Lewis, 5272 South Lewis. My office number is 745-9154.
Now, a lot of people can remember you from your football playing days. Elaborate about that.
My football playing days, the ones that most people remember were probably at the University of Tulsa from 1967 through 69. I played 2 years there because I was a junior college transfer from Los Angeles. I played 2 years in L.A. and then Los Angeles City College, and I came here and I played 2 years.
Now, a lot of people...
Yes, now, a lot of people got a chance to watch that fantastic comeback on Thanksgiving Day that the Dallas Cowboys did on Green Bay Packers. And they also got a chance to watch the Cowboys, probably less than 36 hours ago, more or less. However, you have a Texas connection. Elaborate about that.
My Texas connection is I was born and raised in Houston, went to high school there, and what I call real football in the state of Texas, and went to Los Angeles and ended up at the University of Tulsa here.
And so again, now, those who would like to contact you in the morning, how can they go about that?
745-9154.
And some of the things that you can help them with are?
So I can help them with the financial planning and annuity investments and things like that.
Now, another thing a lot of people are interested in, especially nowadays, is saving money and investing money for their children. And it is a very, very wise way to invest in their children. What way is an example or to wet their lip about calling you in the morning concerning the children?
Oh, obviously, kids, you got to have money for their educations. Therefore, the earlier you start saving for it, the better off you are, because most people can save a small amount of money over a long period of time as opposed to a large amount of money over a short period of time.
And so that's very interesting that they should be giving you, Smiley Elmore and Associate, a call in the morning.
They can, sure. Be glad to deal with it.
I do want to remind the listening audience that you have been listening to the John W. Jones radio program. Till next week at 3:30 p.m., tune in to the John W. Jones show next week at 3:30 p.m. Till then, Mashalom, Meek Mashalom, Ka Awukashe Yuhe Wave.
Shalom, shalom.
From the folks of life.
Got to deal with it.
People prior or to what their left about coloring union concerning the children.
Oh, obviously, kids, you got to have money for their education. Therefore, the earlier you start saving for it, the better off you are, because most people can save a small amount of money over a long period of time, as opposed to a large amount of money over a short period of time.
And so that's very interesting that they should be giving you Smiley Elmore and a social call in the morning.
They can, sure, be glad to deal with it.
I do want to remind you that